As we all know, the syllabus of artificial intelligence has been revised, and there had been lots of questions arising on how the new curriculum will work. Will it be helping students out, or what are the major changes in the curriculum? How are we going to implement overall a new tool? That is orange data mining. And similarly, we have a lot many different questions. Advanced concepts of modeling in AI, we have to evaluate the AI models and the statistical data, what is new in that, how is computer vision being implemented, and natural language processing. So to deal with all these queries and questions, on behalf of Orange Education, I would like to welcome our esteemed author, Ms. Shalini Harisok. She is an esteemed computer teacher with over 25 years of experience. She has been awarded for her work in education by the Education Minister of Sri Lanka and the Bachpan and AHPS Group. She has written books on computer science, IT, and artificial intelligence. Shalini is trained by CBSE to teach AI and also trains other teachers in schools across India and Colombo. She works with DPS Society schools as a subject expert and an interviewer. She has a master's in computer science. She is a B.Ed graduate and she has every computer related qualification. Moreover, she is here to help us out through the difficult change in course by the CBSE. So we all welcome you, Shalini ma'am. Thanks for being with us. Over to you, Shalini ma'am. And welcome. We all welcome you. So over to you.
So namaskar, good evening to everybody who's present here. Thank you for a very gracious and the introduction of mine. So let's come to the topic here. Here to discuss the curriculum of class 10, which has changed for the upcoming session 25-26. Now, not to delay it further, I would request everybody to mute themselves during the session also. Of course, there will be a lot of queries and there are lots of questions that would be there. I have devoted some time for the question answer session. Primarily, it's not going to be a teaching session. It's just an awareness session that I'm going to be taking, where I'm going to actually talk about the change in curriculum, what all new concepts have been added, what is CBSE expecting the teachers to do, and what are teachers expecting the students to do. Now, when I talk about the content more or less, what has been taken gradually from 9th to the 10th is there. The practical component has increased. Yes, it has increased. There is project work, which we are expecting students to do. And then we are also going to have some more concepts which are new to the children. The best part would be here is that it's going to be a low code and a no code zone, which means it's going to be a teaching mechanism where we are going to do children will enjoy doing it. So I'm already taking this class in my school, and I know for sure how my bachas enjoy it. So let me just share my screen. I have prepared a very small presentation here for you, but that presentation is primarily only the crux of it. We will moreover talk about how to go about and do it. I would request everybody to please keep yourself on a mute mode so that we are able to conduct it. So I can do here. Yes, that's my. So for sure, and I can just place it here, and then I can go ahead and do my. So can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So First and foremost, I am a collaborator here with you. So more than I would be delivering anything here, I would also take back some key points from each one of you here. And I assure you that I'll be in the session till I'm able to answer all your queries. For the queries that I don't have an answer to, I will surely get back to you. Now, to show it further, what I wanted to tell you here is that in the part B subject specific skills, what we are going to have here is these chapters. Now, please mute yourself. Okay. The unit 1, which is revisiting AI project cycle and ethical framework. This is primarily the takeover from the previous class and the previous curriculum. There is some change here and there, which I would discuss in detail. The second chapter, that is advanced concept of modeling and AI. Now, this has got few changes into the chapter. As and when we go further, I'll be able to deliver it to you. So let me go and see how does it go here. Now, what I talk about here is primarily, this is the entire curriculum in part B. Part A is employability skills, which is again the same thing. Part B is what is specific, subject specific here. If you see few things here, you'll be able to know it that statistical data is a practical component which has newly been added to it. Then there is a lot of changes in NLP and computer vision also, which you will be seeing going further. Now, the second part, if I talk about the book that we have here, there are 3 parts to it. The first part has got the employability skills. The second part of the book has got subject specification. And the third part is, which I'm sure most of the teachers would love to know it. Now, there's a Python practical questions set which has been given with viva voce questions. There's a project there, then there's a model test paper, and then there's a glossary part of it. Okay, coming to what is unit 1 consisting of. The new things that have been added here is the exploring bioethics. Now, when I talk about bioethics here, it talks about the various principles of bioethics, which is very well explained with good examples in the book. So it also talk about the project cycle, which has been taken from the previous lectures. It's a takeover from your grade 9, which has been graduated to grade 10 curriculum also. If you ask me as a teacher, I will definitely tell you. Now, this is something which is going to be a core question in a 4-marker. Out of the 50 marker paper that we have as a theory paper, this one thing I assure you would be there. What generally is being asked in this content is that they give you a scenario where they'll talk about a problem and that you have to zero it down into a project cycle. The 6 steps of the project cycle, earlier there were 5 that were given there, but now they have also included a deployment, which would include to make a 4W canvas. It will also talk about how this scenario-based questions are there. The book contains lot of examples on scenario-based questions for your references. Now, what I also wanted to tell you here is when they talk about the bioethics here, there are principles of bioethics which is given in the book. Please go through it. This is a new thing which has been given. This would be included as a part of the question paper. Ethical frameworks of AI. Yes, that was also there in the previous chapter. So there's nothing more new. Then there is new examples given in the book which would help you and so on. Let's going further. Unit 2. Now, Unit 2, if has been asked, there's a lot of neural network that has been included into this concept. When I talk about neural network, there would be 1 marker questions or as well as long answer questions. There's this concept of ANN and CNN, which has been included in this chapter. Please go through them, and the examples in the book is good enough to explain it. The example, there are video sessions which have been included, then there are games which have been included. You will see that how many how easier and interactive way that has been included into the chapter. I also wanted to tell you one more thing. In this question, in the previous content where we talk about the project model, there would be questions which will contain, you have to make a problem statement template, or there'll be a question where you will be asked to make a 4W canvas. Now, please tell the students that there are difference between the two things. You have to explicitly tell them how a template is being made and how a 4W canvas is being made. There are games which are given in the book. One of the games which the children really love to play is your quick draw. And then there are another one which is for AI for oceans. It also allows you to know the concept of computer vision through this one. All the three domains that have been explained in the book have been explained through various games and examples. You will know how easy and interactive they are. I also wanted to talk again and again, I'm missing this one. So, if to explain you the ethical framework has been based into a sector-based and value-based. There are various categories of it, and there's a diagram which represents in the book. There has been few things which have been included extra, but please go through it. They would help them to study further. In terms of principles of bioethics, there's this request. Then there's respect of autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. The four principles of bioethics have been explicitly given in the book, which means that needs to be done because this is a new topic which is there, so it needs to be done. Coming back to neural network. Now, neural network have been explained well with a game, which is how there are three layers to neural network, which is an input layer, a hidden layer, and an output layer, and how the output layer is directly affected by the input, how the hidden layers can be interchangeably used, and how there can be various levels of hidden layers into a neural networks. It also talks about the way AI makes a decision. There's this very new and a very interesting thing that has been given as a video into the book, which is AI for goodness. It talks about how the moral values of a machine has been imbibed by the programmer to do well. It's a very simple game, which is AI for goodness. You will see how going through a decision, there are various options given to you. Depending upon what decision that you take, your moral conduct is evaluated in a numerical format, and then they also give you a judgment about it. It's an interesting game and kids love it, where there'll be a question based like there's a old man going, and if a car hits, whether the car should stop or not stop. So it's a AI for goodness thing. It also has got different so when I talk about how do AI make decision, it includes this capacity where it explains the user how when an AI is making decision, how effective or ineffective that decision would be. It also talks about AI model. Now, basically, if I tell you, there are a lot of confusion when we were going through the marking scheme of AI, when we were checking AI papers, we found that this is one concept which is not very clear with the children, and they tend to do mistakes in this one. So when you explain them the AI model concept, please explain them the modeling, that how a learn-based model is different to a rule-based model, how there are games on machine learning ones which depict both of them very explicitly. In the book, there's also an example, which is a chatbot example given, which actually explains you how a rule-based approach has been applied to. It further talks about learning-based model, where a learning-based model depicts when an unlabeled data is entered and used to train the model. this is one concept when we were going through the paper and we were analyzing the evaluation, we realized it that this is something which is of a concern for the children. Evaluation, major portion of the evaluation is actually from the previous classes, except for the way that it has been put up in this unit. The evaluation techniques remains the same, where the children will be asked to make from the confusion matrix, they'll be asked to evaluate the accuracy of a model based on F1 score, recall, precision. So there is going to be a question on confusion matrix also in the paper, where they will have to identify and also give a judgment about how effective or ineffective a AI model is. The concept of overfitting and underfitting model is also very explicitly given in the book, and it is one of the key components that must be taught to the children. Going further, now this is something which is new, that is the statistical data. When we talk about the statistical data here, I would let you know this. Now, this portion is only for practical component. You don't have to teach it or include it into your theory paper, which means that here you explain them the concept of a low code and a no code AI approach. See, how do you go about and do an orange data mining? Now, this is a predefined, already available uh, a data set given to you. It's a graphical user interface where using clicks, you can make a data set and form a fetch a statistical data, where it also allows the user to draw charts and all. We would request, and we actually tell our children to download it onto their terminals. It's a very, very easy no code, low code mechanism. If I'm able to show you, I'll be able to show you. Otherwise, in the book, it's very well given in the form of steps. And in another, there's this website which allows the user to download it also. This chapter also talks about how the AI project cycle is being used into an example which is given there. So this is how a problem scoping, a data acquisition, data modeling, and how a deployment has been used in this one. So if I show you this, a case study is very explicitly given into this, which is a Palmer penguins, how the data set has been already created. And you using that data set, you can actually download and make an entire depiction of the data here.
Okay.
Somebody is saying anything? Okay, please mute yourself. It will be
Dear
easier.
all, the query session will be at the end. We would request you all to please be on mute so that the session can go smoothly.
And we would be able to answer all the queries. There'll be enough time for it. Now, to unit 5.1, we named it as 5.1 and 5.2 in order to differentiate from a theory and a practical component. Now, when I talk about a computer vision theory component, it's primarily the same that we have done into the previous syllabus. It talks about all the applications of computer vision. It also has this concept of kernel, where we were doing it in the previous class. And there are games and machine learning projects which have been written there as examples, which will be easier for children to understand computer vision. Now, this concept is very interesting for the children. They like doing it. There's a pixel art game also, which is given. You will feel when you're teaching them that they actually like doing it. The simplest game that we always start when we introduce AI domains to children is the emoji scavenger hunt, where it talks about how when you get a prop in front of a camera, how we train our model to identify it and not identify it, how it would be able to do it. There are teachable machine games which is given, which allows the user to train a project and execute it. Now, we also under this only, if you want me to tell you the practical component. Now, using in statistical data and in computer vision, under both categories, we would be doing the concept of orange data mining tool. Here, I want to again reiterate that an orange data mining tool is a downloadable software where you download it. There are widgets given shown there in various categories. You click on those widgets, the data set would be available to you, and you can represent your data graphically as well. It is very interesting. Now, here in the computer vision practical component also, there's also introduction to LOAP and teachable machine. However, I personally feel that we should encourage our children to do orange data mining, use orange data mining tool. The main reason behind it, one, it's very easy to be used. And secondly, they have this takeover and it goes further in their grades 11th and 12th curriculum as well. So it's advised here. Then there are layers, what is CNN, conventional neural network, and layers of it, which is explicitly given. In this, under this category of computer vision, you will see that there's this coral bleaching example, which is being given in the book very explicitly, and it's there in the CBSE also. Talking about natural language processing theoretical portion of it, it remains more or less the same. The concept has been taken from the previous class, which was already there. Now, it also talks about the concepts of chatbot using a low code, no code. You can also have a chatbot design for yourself, which will be very interesting for children. If you see this here, there's this technique of NLP, which is being given, that is very well included in the book. Okay, so when I talk about, so here is a screen which shows you how you can go through the orange data mining. These are the cases that are available. You click onto these widgets. These are widget categories that are given, which is evaluate and text mining and all. You click and drag, select the category, click and drag. When you click and drag, there are these things that can be connected together and you can display it. The data tools is also very explicitly done. There are various options under each of these categories. Depending upon what you want to do, you can do. There are graphs categories also. You will see the graphs which are being listed here are much more than what we actually teach our children in mathematics also. So the NLP portion, so if you see the highlight of the curriculum is your orange data mining tool. If you explain that in one of the concepts here, it can be taken over by the rest of them. The only thing is that the widgets will change and how the data can be depicted can be changed here. Now, coming to the advanced level Python, we always encourage the children to use an online Python interpreter. The basic reason here is a Python is a very open source language where with every version there are some changes or the other. So when we use an open source platform, we are actually able to know the updated version of it. Now here, the things that have been included is the pandas have been used, the OpenCV concepts have been used, the application of modules and packages have been used. There are various packages like NumPy, which has been included, which will allow the user to draw your graphs and all using Python language. Now, if you see the difference here is, there's a low code platform which is being given to the users, and there's a Python platform which is being given to the users. Under both categories, if you see, they have to do both. We cannot leave it that the children do not go into a deep where Python language graphs and charts are being used and we tell them to do a low. It cannot be a possibility because the practical file that have been asked and the project that have been asked, it includes at least 10 programs from your Python language. So which means that we have to tell our children that these are both the things have to be included and they have to be used. If you want, I can also tell you about the one portion of the last portion, if I talk about the part C component of the textbook, you will see that that component has also got the example of a practical file. There's a project which is being given as an example, a solved project and a solved practical file. It's added to what has been suggested by CBSE. The CBSE suggests at least a 10 programs from Python, but we have included many, covering each aspect of it. I also wanted to tell you here is because class 10th is an internal examination, generally children tend to not make a file. So what you can suggest is, as and when you teach them, you tell your students that as and when we teach them, we can allow start taking printouts, make a group of 2 or 3 people, encourage them to make a project using, they can use any of this concept of, they can use NLP, they can use computer vision, they can use orange data mining to do this 2 projects here. In your book also, there is an example of a project that is very explicitly given. Okay, and one more thing that I wanted to tell. Oh, and one more concept was there. Let me see. The image feature of computer vision practical component as well as the theory component is exactly the same from the previous year, where they talk about how the RGB features can be altered through a Python code to see a variation in the image, how the image needs to be read using a computer vision concept to analyze it. So this has been included. Sonia ma'am, we can, from what I wanted to show them the change in the curriculum. This is what I have prepared. I would like to see few questions so that I can start solving them here with.
So I would request everyone if they can share the questions in the chat box. I may proceed with that without unmuting yourself. Please share your questions in the chat box so that we can continue with the questionnaire.
See, as a teacher, if you ask me, I'll suggest you that the first 2 chapters in details can be done after your summer break also. Pick up chapters which include practical component. Start with statistical data. They will feel this is a new chapter and they will learn so much into it. They'll have some practical component to do in the lab. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll keep on doing a theory chapter with them. It'll become very monotonous, and doing a practical file and project in a hush-hush by the end of the year would be a difficult thing for children. So we always tend to do the practical component first. If you see the first 2 units, they are actually a theoretical concept which they have portion of it they already know about from their grade 9th curriculum. So it's suggested. I also, as a teacher, always tend to do the practical component first, and then I go back to the previous ones.
So, ma'am, there is one question from Ms. Deepa Nair. Will the portions of class 9 AI can be explained? So, Deepa ma'am, this was specifically related to the changes in AI, what we have tried to cover. On the whole, the class 9th AI will obviously be helpful in teaching the students for the class 10th curriculum. Shalini ma'am, would you like to add something?
See, what happens is the class 9th curriculum is a base curriculum for them. There has been a lot of things, first 2 chapters primarily, the first 2 units primarily, they have been taken from the 9th curriculum, and there's content added to it, which means doing class 9 curriculum is also important. There are schools in CBSE who actually give this subject in grade 10th instead of giving it at 9th. Yes, it will become challenging as teachers for us, because to start with the entirely new subject where the aspects and the explanation is also so new would be a difficult challenge for this. So yes, if you ask me, is class 9 curriculum to be added? It is supposed to be added here.
Thank you, ma'am. Another question is, which version of Orange data mining tool is useful?
So there's no version given to it. However, you go to the website, you can download it. It's automatically been updated there.
Another is, any suggestions for project ideas for grade 10?
Yes, for grade 10th, if you ask project ideas, there are project ideas given in the book using teachable machine and low code, no code as well. One of them is solved under each category. The rest of the examples are already given there. So you'll be able to see them.
Another one, ma'am, practical file and portfolio. Will these two be sufficient or project is also compulsory?
See, portfolio, if you talk about in 10th, is not what it talks about. It is the project which is important and the practical file, it is important. However, it is an internal examination for children. So there's not going to be any external teacher. But the minute you say this to the children, then there's nothing being done as teachers. You'll keep on struggling it to get the work done from students. So instead of telling them it's an optional thing to do, please insist in asking children to make a project and a practical file. I'll tell you the reason behind making a project in a classroom. In grade 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, the concept of project is not only the output that we want the children to generate, it's also the teamwork that we teach them. How a group of 2 or 3 different children of different aptitude, of different nature, joined together to make one output. So that is also very important to be taught in the class.
Another query, ma'am. What about employability skills? Is it important for grade 10?
It is important in every examination, no matter which skill subject that you take. A 10 marks is dedicated for employability skills. So what we suggest, how do I do it with my children? I always take up a unit in the class and I give an overview of the unit. Now, employability skills is so vast. It's so vast that giving an overview takes one period for me. And then I tell them to go back, read it and come back. We also try to give employability skills in the form of question answers, assignment sheets and all, upload them into the classroom, tell children to do it. But yes, it is necessary. There's going to be a 10 marks compulsory thing for employability skills.
So next one is, Palvinder sir is facing some problems with Orange data mining tool. Can we plan some workshop on Orange data mining tool?
Of course, we shall do it as and when we are able to seek time and permission from the publishers. Otherwise, we shall plan about it where we would do some projects.
Okay, so Merlin is asking, can you show one of the example projects?
From the book? Are they asking about a sample project from the book?
They have not been specific. Merlin, please, can you elaborate a little? I think Merlin is writing, so till that point. Another query is, ma'am, any sample book is recommended for practical?
There's no sample book to be required. This book itself is complete in all aspects. It has got not only unsolved questions, but it's got various categories of solved examples and questions. You will see that even if you do them completely with your children, it's like more than enough for them. It's not required.
Write to us at editorial@orangeeducation.in. Please note it down. If anything, we would request you all to scan the QR code and fill in the feedback form. Any suggestions are welcome. You may fill in. Thank you everyone for being a wonderful audience. And thanks a lot, Shalini ma'am. Hope to see you soon with another workshop of orange
For
data
data
mining tool.
mining.